Yeah, you hear that voice? You hear that voice? You hear those vocal cords clashing together to create that vibration? That's uplifting us right now. You hear that voice?
I hear it.
Heather B, I say she's a family member.
Right.
Because when we started, it's about the time she started.
I know, it's crazy.
Come on, I remember hearing about the Miss USA pageant. I was there, damn it.
Was this on the West Coast? Because I was on the East. I wasn't there.
I was on the West Coast.
Okay. Yay.
Strictly Business. I was there.
My favorite.
Jungle Fever. I was there.
My other favorite.
A goodie.
The legendary cult classic Boomerang.
Our coming of age story. We was there.
We were there, Heather B. And against all odds, she kept growing. She kept growing. Bullworth. She kept growing.
Yep.
Introducing Dorothy Dandridge. She kept growing.
Come on, man.
She kept growing.
Wow.
That one got her the Primetime Emmy Award. That one got
Rightfully
the Golden
so.
Globe Award, and she kept growing.
Rightfully so.
It didn't stop there, Heather B.
Talk to me.
2001. I parallel my career to hers.
Oh, I see how you did
You see
that.
how I'm doing that.
Okay.
It was in 1990, I came to radio.
Okay.
2001, she did Monsters Ball. I moved to New York to do MTV.
Right.
Wow.
She won an Academy Award. Citizens, give her a round of applause for that. The only African-American woman to win an Academy Award for Best Actress, the first woman of color. She went on to become Storm. She went on to become Catwoman.
Yes.
This goes on and on and on. The interview gets your intro.
Ain't that so good?
She speaks in Congress about women's about women's issues.
Yes.
Whether it's menopause, the right to make decisions about your own body. She utilized her exposure and platform to uplift and empower people. That's true. That's true reverence I want to give her today and say congratulations. I never thought I'd be able to introduce you on my show. That's why this is going so long, Halle Berry. I don't want it to end, damn it. I have posters of you in my room, too. Give it up for Halle Berry.
Oh my God, what did I do? What did I do to deserve that? What did I do to deserve that? Thank you, Sway. Thank you.
Oh, of course,
Halle,
Tracy.
so much.
Yes.
Come on.
Oh my God, thank you.
You did
oh my
what
God.
no one has done.
That's amazing.
That's what you did.
Thank you.
You did what no one has done.
Thank you.
And when we do that, it has a different impact on our community. Because young girls who look like you, come from where you came from, had to experience the things you have, now know that they can do what you have done.
Right.
You open that imagination, a possibility. Halle Berry, damn it.
HB.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I feel not worthy.
You
Thank
worthy.
you.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
Thank
worthy.
you. Thank you.
And then you went the black route first.
She did.
Now, all those movies were like Spike Lee.
Yes.
You know what I
my
mean?
gosh, Spike gave me my start.
He
Yes.
gave you your start.
Yes.
Do you reflect on that a lot to see how far you came?
I do, you know, and sometimes, I sit and I marvel at that I'm still here.
Yeah.
All these years, 30 years later, I still get to work and do what I love to do and take care of my family, and I do marvel at that.
Yeah.
I never thought that this was possible for me.
Yeah.
It was a dream bigger than I think I had for myself.
It was a dream bigger than you think you have for yourself. Yeah. You don't hear a lot of people ramble back your accomplishments, huh?
No.
This is new to you, I can tell. You should. I truly think it's necessary. I'm curious. First of all, Boomerang, cult classic.
Yeah.
A lot of your movies are cult classics.
Yeah, they've become. Sometimes in the moment it felt like, some things were a bit before their time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in hindsight, you look back and you think, wow, those things happened when we weren't really making movies like that. We weren't seeing black people in situations like that, right? So they were a bit, but that's when you're a pioneer and an innovator, you are slightly ahead of things, right? So you might not get your flowers in that moment, but it comes back because people realize, oh, that started the movement to go where we went, right? So I'm really proud to have been a part of all those early movies and sort of setting that path for us.
Halle Berry, man. Go ahead, Heather. I want to hog this.
So, all right, I'm a little confused, and I know you know this better. I feel like I saw Strictly Business before Jungle Fever. How? What came
No,
first?
Jungle Fever came first.
First?
Yes, that was my
Wow.
first. Yeah, that was my very first.
And it
movie
just
role.
so happens that Samuel L. Jackson was in both films with
yes.
you.
Just
What?
so happens.
Man, I love Strictly Business. I did, and Boomerang and all the things. It seemed like you had a lot of fun making Strictly Business. Because to Sway point, we were all coming of that age as
Yes.
well, and it was New York City. It was the
Yes.
parties. It was the
Yes.
BS job that none of us wanted, but we
Yes.
were still, doing our thing at night.
Yes.
What was the most fun you had doing a film, and what was the most difficult? Maybe it was physically difficult out of all the films that you've done.
Well, it was originally called Go Natalie.
Oh.
Does anybody know that? It was
No,
called
never
Go
heard
There's
that.
a
Natalie.
song
Fun
called Go
facts.
Natalie in
It
the
was-
soundtrack,
yes,
right?
Yes, it was called Go Natalie. Yes. Changed it strictly business. But, you know, for me, there was nothing hard about it. I mean, you know, it was dancing, it was fun, it was
Fun.
silliness, Tommy
Yeah.
Davidson, you know, Joseph. For me, I was such a new artist. It was just, you know, getting through it, you know, believing in myself at that time, you know. It wasn't anything physically taxing or demanding on me. It was just the start of my career and, you know, working. You know,
Was there a film that was hard, like just physically hard, or something you were going through challenging, but you got through that film as well?
in the early days, I would say that, there was a movie I did called Losing Isaiah.
Yes.
That
Oh,
was
gosh.
physically,
Yeah,
that was
that
mentally, emotionally. That was a big jump for me. I mean, Jungle Fever gave me, you know, Viv the crack hoe was a start.
Prom queen.
It was a start. And I love that, you know.
Yeah.
I love
Playing the crack hoe?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Love that.
What did you
So
pull
good.
from? What did you draw from?
Well, I was actually at crack dens. That's where I went.
Wow.
I was such a baby actor at that time, and you know, I didn't know I didn't know the world of crack. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Where it was like
That's a good thing, Harley. That's a good thing.
that's a good thing. It served me well.
Yes.
But I knew I wanted to be the crack hoe, but I knew nothing about it. So I went actually down and did some dangerous, dumb stuff. The older me would never do this, but the baby me went into some crack dens and sat up in there and got a dose of what that was. And it was really scary. And after the fact, when I told everybody what I had done, even Sam, they were like, what the fuck is wrong? You did what? Why? It's called acting. And I was like, I know, but I didn't know how to act a crackhead. I've never seen that really. I knew I
Yeah.
wanted the role, but yet I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I remember reading that Samuel Jackson. Well, I don't know if it was true, but I thought I read that you didn't shower,
Yes.
you didn't do it. That's true.
All that dumb stuff. I would never do that today. But back then, no
Halle Berry
shaving,
didn't
no
shower?
showering, no brushing teeth, no combing hair. She was nasty. And it's kind of what I felt like I needed to do at that time to connect to what that was, right?
Wow, that's dope though.
those
Halle
Congrats.
Berry is here,
Yeah.
man. You know, when you bring up Losing Isaiah, I think of Monsters Ball, I think of Kidnap, and all of these projects you played a mother alongside their kid, right? And then I look at Never Let Go, which is something I had a chance to go see Thursday
Yeah,
night.
Thursday.
We,
Saw it as
on
well,
DB, you
yep.
saw it as well. And here you are playing a mother.
I love these mother roles.
These mother roles are your thing, right?
They're my thing. I think, you know, I always have wanted to be a mother. It's something that sits in me really, really well. And every time one of these roles come my way, I sort of jump at it. And even playing Losing Isaiah, that was before I was a mother, right? But I knew I wanted to be a mother, right? And I love the complexity of what it is to be a mother. And in Never Let Go, it's a different version of a mother for me.
yeah.
But love is love. And sometimes as a mother, you know, we're mothers based on the circumstance and the situation that we're in. But as women, if we're mother, we're always mother. But this mother is dealing with some generational trauma
Yeah.
Right.
and
Yeah.
some issues and loving her kids, but it's in a tougher, loving kind of way.
That's when I watched the movies, Halle. I'm not a horror movie guy.
You're not?
Nah, but I was like, how horrific could it be with Halle Berry?
It was horrific. You saw that face, right?
Yo, that was more scarier than the crackhead, the crack hole you played. But it forced me to think. Like I couldn't get away from my own family watching this movie. Because it became metaphoric to me when you talk about generational traumas and how we hold on to them generation after generation and we never let go.
No, we don't.
And you'll see a rope in this movie that's symbolic to me
Yes.
of holding on
Yes.
to the trauma. That's how I took it.
Yes. Well, good way
Yeah.
to take it.
Okay?
That's how I took it too.
That's how you took it too.
Yeah, because that's what we do. It takes an outlier in our family to break the cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes an outlier to realize the dysfunction and then go and do the work to change the cycle, right? But generations go by before an outlier emerges, right? To sort of change the trajectory of that family.
Would you be considered the outlier in your real family?
Absolutely.
Really? How so?
I forged a different path for myself than my family members. I think I've kind of always been the black sheep, and usually that's the person who's pushing up against the family trauma, who's daring to make a change. I've told some of my family members, if y'all don't get some help, y'all can't be in my life.
Wow, you had to say that.
Wow.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some of them have chosen to stay estranged. But when I had my daughter, I was very clear that things were going to be different for her. And that's when I stood up.
Yeah.
I could never do it for myself. I could never look at my family and say, this isn't right, this isn't working. But when I became a mother, it was now, oh no, this craziness is not going to be around my children.
There you go.
So if you guys don't log in and get the help and we start dealing with this, then unfortunately, we're family, but we're going to have to part ways.
Yeah.
And that's what has happened to some degree.
Halle Berry, man, shit. Halle, I could just stare at you and talk all day.
Get a grip, Sway.
Ask her nothing. I'm going to ask you nothing.
Be
Halle.
professional
All right.
and get a grip.
All right, I'm sorry, man. It's Halle Berry, Heather.
It is Halle
Go
Berry.
ahead, Tracy.
Everything you shared, it also makes me think about the importance of chosen family, right? And
Yes.
especially if you're playing mothers and just mothers in real life. Although I'm not one, but I can see with the friends I have how important friendship is in a mother's life, of understanding the many layers to your identity. With having decades on decades in this business, I'm wondering, because when you are this successful, you go through many disappointments, many plot twists, many triumphs. Has all of that changed your criteria for friendship right now? Like, are you still open to nurturing new friendships, or do you feel like with your status, it's better for you to have a tighter circle?
Always open to new. Always
Okay.
open. That's how we keep growing and learning. And I really believe this. Some people are in your life a season, a reason, and a lifetime, right? And when the season and reason is over, you sometimes say goodbye and you move on. And you cherish the time you had together. Uh-oh, this means something.
Yeah.
I
You
just said
tapped
that
I can
this
see it.
morning.
Right?
Yes.
And sometimes it's okay to let it go.
No.
They were there for a reason and a season, and you were crossing a time together, and you were what each other needed at that time. But when that's done, it's okay for that to be done, and hold it always close, but move on. So I'm always open to the new, because new people bring you new energy. You have new paths to go down. You learn, you grow. So always new. I have some old ones, some that that are my forever ones that
the
I know
roots.
are forever. But I'm all about inviting in the new.
I like that Halle Berry is here. DB, you got a chance to see the movie as well.
I did.
Well, you smiling before I even went to you.
Come on, man. It's Halle Berry, man.
Okay.
Before I get to the question, I just want to say, Sway in the Morning, we like to consider this a safe space. And one of the movies that you starred in, John Wick, Parabellum, when you play Sophia, the Continental is considered a safe space because you were running it. So I thought it'd be cool to give you a little souvenir, your own Continental card as a gift. So you can always come back to Sway in the Morning.
Oh, Halle, but you need
Have
to
a
bring
safe
this card.
space.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
God,
Okay.
yes,
Cool.
the Continental.
My question is, after watching the movie, I'm very into movies and I love production whenever it looks great and everything. And the way the set was, I know you guys filmed on location, but there was also like the way the house was dressed up in the forest and like so many of the props and everything out in that remote area. I just wanted to know how much of that was actually there and how much had to be built maybe on a soundstage, or I was just amazed by the way everything looked.
Thank you for that. We did nothing on a soundstage.
Really?
It was all live. It was all practical. We found a house in the middle of nowhere. It was shot in Canada, in the middle of the woods. It was an old beat-up house. So we took that house and sort of added things to it, but the bones were already there. So our amazing set decorator came in, and production designer, and made that our little house. And it was in the middle of the woods. Those woods were real. Every day, that's where we shot. We had bears rolling up through our set. There were like bear horns and bear spray all around. At nighttime, in the daytime, the forest was magical and beautiful, right? And birds and frogs, and this light was coming through. But when that sun went down, and those bears started,
Real bears.
get
coming.
real bears. Yeah.
That's a bear.
And sitting on the set, like rats would come through in the house at night when we were shooting at night.
House.
We were in the woods, like for real. Yes. So all that, but you know what? It made it it made it magical for us because it made it real. And my two young performers, I mean, they're kids. And so
Yeah.
it really helped us all stay in that mindset. And I was fascinated when I read this script. Like, what would it be to be a mother, to give birth to two twins and never leave this place, never talk to anybody else but these two children? And
Yeah.
these two children only talk to you. Everything they know from you. Like, what would that be like? That was what got me when I read the script. I thought, wow, this seems like something we should investigate. I've never seen this before. This is interesting. Wow.
Those young men, Anthony, who played Samuel, and Percy, who played Nolan, right?
Yes.
I say about Act 3, they really start carrying the movie themselves. How old are they?
They were 9 and 10 at the time.
Wow.
You have to see
Yes,
Citizens.
amazing.
Yeah, they did an amazing job. How did you get people so young, so focused?
Well, first of all, we searched long and hard, and I was dogged. I was like, I cannot accept less than Wonder Boys because I knew that it was just me and these two boys. Like, that was it, in the middle of nowhere. And it was really important to have really good young actors who were focused. And Percy, we chose him first to play Nolan, and we had searched and searched, and to tell you, I was getting a little bit stressed, thinking, okay, maybe we're not going to be able to make this movie, because if we can't find these boys, this is never going to work.
Right.
And in the 11th hour, Percy showed up, and he did an audition that brought me and our director to our knees.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, we got one. We got one.
Yes.
But then we had the problem of finding another one that could, theoretically be his twin, that could be a part of the family. They had to be about the same size, but different. And so then that was a bigger challenge. And then Anthony came in and, again, blew us away. And what I loved about these guys were, I've been working for 30 years, and I've worked with some grown-up men who weren't as focused, who weren't as dedicated, who didn't work as hard as these two boys did.
Yeah.
They showed up every day prepared, and it's a tribute to their family, their parents, their mothers, and their fathers.
Wow.
They are being raised right. They're in the industry. They're not of the industry. They understand that it's hard work, and they're proud of what they did every day. And they were some of the best scene partners I think I've ever had.
They'll be award-winning actors
Oh,
at
yeah.
some point in their
Congrats.
careers.
Oh, yeah.
Like they did an exceptional job.
Oh, yeah. They have it. They have it.
And you all played really well together. You know, we don't want to tell the entire movie as we tend to talk about it, but do go see the movie.
Do it.
Halloween is coming up.
Halloween,
Yes,
right? Oh, make sure you
yes.
see the movie. Halle Berry is here, 888-742-3345. Hey, Halle,
Hey.
I want to go over some lyrics with you, see which ones you like the best, because hip-hop loves you.
It's true, though. That's a good, yep.
Hip-hop loves you, all right? And you are one of the most mentioned people in hip-hop metaphors.
That's crazy. I don't know why this keeps happening.
Okay.
I love it, though, but I don't know why it keeps happening.
From the Missy Elliott's Under Construction album, Misdemeanor, Missy playfully asks a boy, "Don't I look like a Halle Berry poster?" That's your joint. Like that?
She know it.
You like that
I
one?
like that one. But I love Missy, so,
Yes.
you know.
Salute to Missy.
Okay,
Yes.
that was cool. All right. Kanye West with the beer goggles on, possessing. He talks about average women possessing your beauty. What's scary to me is Henny make girls look like Halle Berry to me.
Oh, no.
That is scary.
You know what, Kanye?
You got to
if
be
you
drunk. That's what I'm saying. Oh, okay.
Once he's on the Henny,
You like that
they
one?
all look like Halle
Yes.
to him. Okay.
All right. On the chorus of Money Trees, Kendrick Lamar featuring J Rock, he calls out the saying, "It go Halle Berry or Hallelujah." Halle Berry or Hallelujah.
I like that one. My son likes that one.
Your son likes that one?
likes
Okay, let
that
me
one.
do one more. B.I.G., The Legend, Mac and Don's, the unreleased. Old born actress, haircut was part of the meteoric rise. What kind of girls do you like? Well, that's various. I like long hair girls on them, like Halle Berry cuts. I didn't say it right.
No.
But yeah, no, I didn't say it right. That was horrible.
I know what you meant, though.
You know what I meant?
I
You
know,
like
I
that
know what
one?
you meant. I know what you
Oh,
meant.
man.
You bomb
I heard
in
it
front of
before.
Halle.
Shit, I bombed. I'm gonna
So
turn
wait,
it
there's another one. Did you
Oh.
really blow a kiss at Nas at the Barbra Streisand concert? You know, there's a lyric too. You blew a kiss at him. That was nice.
You blew a kiss at Nas?
He told the truth.
That was the best you can do? What should I say to him?
Blew a kiss.
You know.
And that's all. But that to me, when hip hop mentions you, and these are all songs that happen at different times.
Yes.
You know, that means you're a cultural tent pole for us, right? And in each era, you exist in different ways. And that speaks to your openness, how you said you're open-minded in longevity. What advice would you give to folks about longevity that's worked for you?
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
And that always means so much. I love my people. I love that I've always been held up.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
my people hold me up.
Yeah.
And that's
Amen.
over the years that's meant a lot to me. So when I hear mentions in those songs, that's what that means to me. That means that's love, and that love is there, and I know that love is going to always be there for me, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So what I say about longevity is that we have to just keep being us, you know what I mean? Refuse to quit, refuse to sit down, and that's why I know I'm still here. I'm taking my health seriously. I always have. Being diagnosed with diabetes at 19 is one of the best things that ever has happened to me because that got sugar out of my life.
Yeah.
Sugar is a poison, it's a toxin, and I think that allows me to stay here and still be in good form and
Yes.
good mind and, you know, be strong and ready to keep going. I think that's been really a part. Diet and exercise has been important. And I think, you know, daring to take chances, take risks. You know, I'm not afraid of failing. I failed so many damn times, and so what? You just put your big girl panties back on, get back up and do it again.
Keep it pushing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You keep it pushing, but you have to try. You have to risk. You only win big if you risk big.
Yes.
You know, and we learn the most when we fail, right? So there's no downside to any of it. Just keep going. Keep doing what you want to do, doing it on your own terms,
Amen.
making your own choices, you know? Like have blinders on and not really care what people really have to say, you know who you are. Know what you want to say, how you feel. Because the truth is, Sway, and this is what I do know too, Heather, when I'm dead and gone, who will care?
That
But
part.
here's who will care. And you might think, oh, we love you, Halle. But when I'm dead and gone, for about 6 months, people might still talk about it. But then a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, who cares?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
who cares? We come here, and so we have to live our life for us,
you go.
right? We have to do what's important to us and our family because nobody really cares at the end. Even your family will forget
Yeah,
you.
they stopped talking.
You know, your family will move on. Everybody moves on. So live this life today. That's what I say about longevity. Live your life, run your race today. You care what you do, and as long as you care about what you're doing, you feel good about what you're doing, that's all that really matters.
Halle Berry, y'all.
Amen.
You know, I'll be remiss if I didn't ask you also, because you're the only one. We thought by now there'll be others. African American woman to win an Academy Award for Best Actress and the first woman of color. That was what, 23 years ago?
Too many.
Too many years
yes,
ago.
There's no one else there. I know. It's heartbreaking.
Well, first of all, before it's heartbreaking, congratulations.
100%.
You broke down the door. You broke down the barrier, right? I can only imagine after all you've gone through. When they announced your name, I know we got to relive this and shit decades ago, but damn it,
The
you
little
know.
crackhead that could.
Yeah. You was a crack hole. You know what I mean?
I know.
And then they
How the
announced.
crack hole get that? I don't know.
How the crack get it?
And when they announced your name, share with us, we're your people. Walk us through what that feels like and what were you thinking, if you could recall.
Yeah, I can recall that I didn't expect that to happen because back in those days, whoever won the Golden Globe usually won the Academy Award. It was the precursor. And Sissy Spacek won. I didn't win. And it was that night that I kind of felt like, okay, my chances are over. Like, that's really how I felt. And I just tried to connect to, okay, but I'm here. I made it this far. You know, I got as far as Dorothy Dandridge did. Okay, girl, I'm, you know. So I really didn't. I was just there to like wear my dress and stand up for our people and say, hey, I got this far. So I was in literal shock when that happened because I had made up my mind and everybody around me had made up their mind too.
Wow.
Because the Golden Globe was that much of a precursor back then. So I don't know what I thought, Sway. I don't even know how I got up those steps.
Really?
All I know is I heard Russell Crowe whisper in my ear, breathe, mate. Just breathe, mate. He must have seen that I wasn't even functioning. And then I don't know what happened. And I've seen that speech before, and it was nothing I had written down. It just was like stream of consciousness, I suppose.
Where is that gorgeous dress? Was it like an Ellie Saab? Where was
was,
that dress?
I donated to the Academy, to the the Academy in
I
Los
have a
Angeles.
rendition of that dress
Yeah.
that I wore to my prom.
Really?
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Yeah, it was one of
try to
those
find a
things
photo.
that I think for all of us, again, women of color, when you walked up there in that dress, it was just like, wow.
Oh, thank
Like,
you. That was
any-
also risky. People told me, "Oh no, that's too. You can't wear that to the Oscars." Like,
Nah, you
oh yeah.
rocked it.
And I was like, "Hey, I'm here, so I'm gonna be here."
Yeah, I'm gonna be here. I'm
You
gonna
ain't
do
gonna
my
forget
thing.
it.
Nah, it's one of those things when you see it. That's Halle Berry.
Yeah. I liked her as a crack hole, so it
Sway your standards. Be
I'm sorry, Halle.
professional.
Hey, I like the crack hole, me too, honestly.
all right.
Which is why I like Never Let Go. When I get to sit in these roles and just
Yeah.
disappear and
Yeah.
you fuck up the hair
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it's satellite.
and like put on the yellow your teeth down and
Stink.
dirty your face up and stink. Like
Yeah.
I love sitting in those characters. I really do. I love to do that.
Yeah, that character then was nothing pretty about.
No, this one I Never Let Go is either. She ain't nothing nice either.
Well, that's the one I'm talking
yeah,
about.
she ain't nothing nice.
Do you have a ritual for how like you shed some of these challenging characters from you once the movie is done?
Well, luckily, I learned in the last 30 years how to leave it on the set every single day.
Oh.
Especially being a mom. Like, I can't bring this craziness home to my kids.
Yeah.
I've learned, luckily, some technique over the years, and I leave it all there. But I love to put it all on, and then I love to take it all off. Hang that wig up and take those, wash that face off and leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Halle Berry is here, man. I know we only got so much time. The people looking at me.
Yeah, all of them.
Because he keeps saying crack hole.
No, don't worry about that. I just want the magnitude of winning this award. I don't want to let that go, and I don't want people to forget it because you're the only one. And I'm sure days later you start thinking about what does this really mean, and I'm sure you thought about those who came before you, and then those who are going to come after you. Are there any folks, that you like to, just acknowledge? Women who came before you that made it possible for you to win that Academy Award, and the ones who have come after.
Oh, yeah, and I said it that night. Stream of Consciousness, Dorothy Dandridge, Lena Horne, Diane Carroll, Eartha Kitt, Hattie McDaniels, like all those women.
Yeah.
Diane Carroll. Diana Ross. I actually think Diana Ross should have won. For a lady singing
the
blues. She should have got that award.
Absolutely.
She should have been the first.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In my opinion, Miss Ross should have won that award. First of all, Dorothy should have, and then Diana should have. So there's people that should have come before me. Absolutely. It just happened to be me. I was the vessel that night. And after me, we got all the Viola Davis is working now, Taraji, all of them are all of them, Angela. They're all out there.
Yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean? So, but what I've had to struggle with, I thought that was the door opening, and I thought, oh, my sisters were going to walk in, right? And the fact that they haven't, I struggle with that all the time, and I get asked about it all the time. And I've had to come to terms with, what do awards actually mean? And we put so much emphasis on somebody getting an award.
Yep.
Like I just read where somebody said Beyonce didn't get a country music award nomination, and I'm mad. And I thought, who cares? She's Beyonce, and she changed culture. She's an icon. Music business hasn't been the same since she got here. So who cares if she walks home with an award? What does that award do but sit on a shelf? Yes, awards are nice, and we all love to get pats on our back, but what she's done is bigger than an award. And I think what Viola Davis has done is bigger than an award. Like, what does the award really mean? Because I can tell you, I have the award, but did it really change my career? Did it make my journey indelibly easier? No. In some ways, it made it harder, because now I had this award, and there was so much expected of me. I had to live up to having this thing. Well, how did I even get it in the first place? I got it by taking risks and chances and having nobody pressuring me to live up to anything. That's how I got it. But once you get it, now all of a sudden you have to only do these kinds of movies or those kinds of roles, or that's not an Academy Award worthy. Why is she doing that? Because doing what I wanted to do is what got me it. And I can't stop doing that. So I don't know if awards actually help anybody, really. I think sometimes it sits down on you in a way that kind of can stifle your creativity or stifle your ability to take chances and
Yeah.
risks, and I don't know what it means. Just because Viola Davis doesn't have one doesn't mean she's not a fantastic. Like she should have one. No, you know. So it doesn't mean. And even though I have one, didn't mean I was the best actor that year. No, but that meant I got the award.
You got the award.
Right, that's what it meant. So if you don't get it, it doesn't mean you're not the best. So I just try to keep it all in perspective and try to take if you win an award, accept it graciously. God bless you. If you don't,
God bless you.
God bless you. Keep
Keep
it pushing.
doing.
And since that award, Black women are in the business and working in ways that we weren't before that. So that's how I see the change. Look what we get to do today.
Direct,
Look what we get to
executive
do.
produce.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
And star, and we have better
Star.
roles. We're writing now, like a Shonda Rhimes.
Production
Like
company.
Shonda Rhimes wrote Dorothy Dandridge back in the day.
Wow.
Like, you know, so we're evolving. We really are evolving, albeit some awards we don't have on our shelves, but we're evolving.
There you go. Halle Berry, man. Hey, listen.
Thank you, Halle.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you
I'm
guys
loving
for
you
having
right
me.
now, man.
Thank
I'm
you.
loving Halle Berry.
The passion.
We didn't even bring up Storm, DB.
Yeah, no.
You don't want one question? Well, she
They
here,
looking
bro. Shit, I know y'all gotta go, but you know.
I know you've been asked about reprising Storm, but I mean, is it in the cards? Is it any closer to getting some sort of cameo or something? Are you allowed to even speak about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I would if someone asked me.
We're asking.
Yeah.
Ask-
There's a question right there.
right?
Yeah.
I want to see Storm and Black Panther get married.
Oh, well, you know, yeah, they had a thing. You do know, right?
Yeah.
Storm and Wolverine had a thing.
They
too.
had a thing too.
yeah.
Storm
Yeah,
was
there's
good.
a lot of things we could do with Storm.
Right?
They wanted to.
We just threw out a couple of scenarios. We
just
shall
saying.
see. Okay. Who we need to talk to? Say their name. All right.
Ryan Coogler.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Ryan, we could talk to
Coogler would be one.
Ryan's I'm from Oakland.
Well,
I watched him grow up together.
Him.
I could call Ryan.
Call him.
Shit. I'll call him off mic. You know, Halle Berry, thank you for all that you continue to
Yes.
do.
Yes.
You continue to do.
Yes.
And I want to encourage everybody to go see this movie.
Go see it.
Take your family. It's
Well-
Your grown
your
adult.
grown family. Talk to your kids first. All right.
21 and over.
Never Let Go in theaters this Friday. The executive producer and star, Halle Berry, is here. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for
Halle,
having me.
absolutely. Come back
Thank you,
anytime. Got you. Okay?